Restaurants facing some issues right now. They are hiring security because tensions are rising between customers amid these new mandates. So the mask police back in restaurants. And restaurants, quite frankly, I don't think want to have to do this. Let's bring on Lisa Miller, Senior Marketing Strategy and Innovation Consultant with over 30 years of experience in the restaurant industry. Lisa, this is a big story, and it's one that the hospitality industry is really struggling with. The customer's always right or wrong?
Well, I think that that's a tough challenge right now, and thanks for having me on this morning. And there's a couple things that are happening, and a little backdrop. I've been tracking COVID sentiment since last year, over 39,000 consumers that we've been talking to. And there's this tension right now between people wanting to go out and have just a great time, but then also just the fear and anxiety of still being in a pandemic. And so that tension between joy versus fear is really just what's kind of, unfortunately really creating a lot of problems for restaurants right now and a lot of bad consumer behavior out there.
Lisa, what's the fear? Seriously, I mean, if you're vaccinated, what's the fear? If you're healthy, what's the fear? What are people scared of that you're finding?
Right. Oh, definitely. That's a great question. And in our data, believe it or not, 57%, so over half of Americans that have been going out to restaurants say that they're concerned about overcrowding. And then the other thing is that the precautions have kind of waned. And 62% say they just don't feel like the restaurants are really taking care of them from a safety protocol. So there's a lot of fear on that regard. But guess what? 65%, they're just saying bad customer behavior, and they don't want to get caught up. And, you see it on the news and, scuffles that are happening at restaurants and, servers that are just crying because people are complaining about cold hamburgers, and it's just kind of a mess out there.
Yeah, so, okay, so you've got over 50% of Americans saying that they're afraid. I would assume that those saying that have been vaccinated. So I kind of go back to my point. You might be the wrong person to ask because I know you're dealing with data, but if you've been vaccinated, what are you scared of? And if you're still scared after you've been vaccinated, why the hell are you leaving your house?
Yeah, I think that that's a great point. I think that they are concerned about, with breakthrough cases and things like that. I think there is a little bit of concern. But then I think the other thing that people are concerned about is the overcrowding. Now with that scuffles and things like that, people have so much pent-up demand. And people, it's kind of this two-sided coin here. People are so pent up. Even half of Americans just saying they're still not back to their normal behaviors yet, believe it or not. And so there's just this pent-up demand. People want to go out and have a great time, and then your favorite food isn't available. So that's kind of one side of it. But then if you see all those scuffles and things like that, you might just be concerned it's just not going to be very fun. And so the overcrowding is just not very fun anymore, and just dining out for some, not everybody.
Right.
For some, it's just not fun anymore.
Talking to Lisa Miller right now, Senior Marketing Strategy Innovation Consultant, over 30 years of experience, including working with Brinker International. That's a parent company of Chili's on the border, Macaroni Grill. Lisa, so what's the answer for restaurants here? What do they do?
Well, what's great. Yeah, what's interesting right now is that even just as recently as last week, I've seen restaurants putting up signs saying, be kind or just leave. And so I think there's two things that have to happen. You started the top of this saying the customer's always right? Mm-hmm. Well, at this point in time, the restaurant owners, they actually have to make sure that their employees are being taken care of and feel safe and feel like they're having a good time. Otherwise, the customer experience isn't going to be very good. So on that side, restaurant operators really taking care of their staff. On the other side, it really is all of us. We really need to treat others with respect. I know it sounds so basic and fundamental, but restaurant operators are basically saying be kind or just don't bother coming.
All right, Lisa, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. That is Lisa Miller, Senior Marketing Strategy Innovation Consultant.